Shandy! Shandy!
What is that? I know what it is. I mean, what are you doing?
Shaving her.
This is a brain operation.
I know.
What's that supposed to be, a heart?
Yes, sir. Clive and I thought that since it's Valentine's Day, that...
Good evening and welcome to CNT News. My name is Cami Sutra and you join us this evening on Thursday, the 14th of February. Yes, a day where women across the planet celebrate Valentine's Day. Yes, a day where men are provoked into buying gifts for their significant other just to show them that they love them. Don't worry, guys, April 18th is just around the corner. Now, what with it being Valentine's, I have my lovely Valentine's gift, my table. Thanks, Mum. We also have our lovely graphic. Who's been fucking with my graphics? Frickleton. Well, that's certainly going to make this next section a lot easier. Yes, this year, we thought we would celebrate Valentine's by giving back to you. Now, we're a small team at CNT. We can't be everywhere. So this year, we thought we would help out the families of California. Yes, on Valentine's Day, when you have kids, it's difficult to really enjoy the evening. So we've laid on a little service of sorts. Yes, a service to help with childcare, to allow the couples to really enjoy their Valentines. So yes, let's pass to Barnaby Frickleton.
This way, more lines down this way, filling down here.
Thank you, Cammie. Yes, I'm outside what seems to be just the scariest of events. There's people who are just rushing to get inside of this event center. I'm not sure what the hurry is or why everybody's dressed up as princesses, and all I can say is something awful must be coming, Cammie.
Barnaby Frickleton there, and we'll catch up with Barnaby a little later, see if he's surviving. Now, to kick us off this week properly, all behold the God Emperor. Yes, this week, a float depicting Donald Trump as the God Saviour was displayed at a parade in Italy. Take a look.
Appunto girando su se stesso ed è molto curato nell'aspetto appunto della coloritura dell'armatura e molto spazio viene dato anche.
Now this has left many unsure as to whether this float is pro or anti-Trump. Now this is largely due to many people being unaware of this character's origins. So let me tell you, without going into too much detail, the God Emperor spawns from a computer game called Warhammer. And in the game, the God Emperor is the saviour of the human race. Yes, the God Emperor then led his forces on to conquer space and Mars. But before you jump to conclusions, and the God Emperor reference aside for a moment, this is apparently a joke at the expense of Donald Trump. I mean, seriously, it's a fair piece of work. If that's the negativity you want to send to me, by all means. In an interview during the festival, Fabrizio Galli, the artist of this thing, was asked about its meaning. Quote, "I think I have reached one of the highest points of my career. Well, without doubt, it is he that brandishes the weapon of the economy. It says, Dazi Vostri, which is roughly translated to, fuck your tariffs. Yes. It's a joke, but in fact, he is actually trying to destroy nations with the economy instead of nuclear missiles. This is one of the strongest actions that powerful people like Trump can use. Yes, with enemies like that, who needs friends? And the upturn in Donald Trump's fortunes didn't stop there, as this week, the God Emperor received an approval rating of 52%, his highest since taking on the role as president. Now, 52% might not seem like anything to shout about, but when you look at that in comparison to other countries' leaders, well, take Theresa May. Please. No, seriously though, Theresa May has an approval rating of 28%. And how about Donald Trump's former squeeze, Emmanuel Macron? He has an approval rating of 27%. And this is actually a huge improvement from a few weeks back. However, there are a few that have managed to top Trump's standing, with German Chancellor Angela Merkel receiving an approval rating of 60%, and way out front, way out in front, are Kim Jong-un and Xi Jinping, who both have an approval rating of 110%. 110%. Apparently that's correct. But coming back to Trump's remarkable achievement, many are led to believe it was his State of the Union address that has caused this rise in popularity. Now, as an outsider, the State of the Union has always been a bit of a mystery. I've always felt that it was a bit of a circle jerk for the government to tell themselves how wonderful they're doing. And that's exactly what it appears to be. So before I share some of my highlights from the State of the Union, I feel it's best we pass to someone who is also familiar with this kind of thing. I of course mean State of the Union addresses, not circle jerks. Yes, let's pass to Trent Stone.
Thanks, Cammy. On Tuesday, President Trump delivered his State of the Union address, and throughout the speech, one thing was abundantly clear. America is still very white. As expected, Mr. Trump spent a lot of the time talking about ideas and goals that were extremely important to him and his administration, which is why through much of the speech you heard about education,
Wall.
healthcare,
Walls.
gun control,
Walls.
deficit reduction,
See-through steel barrier
the environment,
or wall.
technology.
A simple concrete wall.
Now, the speech wasn't just about short-term goals. President Trump also laid out a very bold vision for the future. He wants to take America back.
The Great Crusade.
Of course, the focus of the speech was unity and togetherness, which is why the president spent about 40 minutes telling his opponents why they were wrong and should do as he wanted.
Most of the people in this room voted for a wall.
Now, by all accounts, the speech was very long, with a lot of words, which is why America was extremely proud of the president for getting through it without too many mistakes. In fact, even his mother was happy for him. Kind of. Trent Stone, CNT News.
Trent Stone reporting there. Now, from an outsider's point of view, there are a ton of things I could pick out. I mean, Nancy Pelosi's clapping. No, not that. Or when the full room sang Happy Birthday to that Holocaust survivor. No, but that was a nice moment. However, my attention was drawn to the fact that Donald Trump was so keen to make sure that the State of the Union address went ahead. And I was keen to work out why. And around halfway through, it became somewhat apparent. Many of the Democrats' female members decided to wear white to the State of the Union. This was to signify 100 years on from the suffragette movement, a part of history that you all really should know of. To know what those women went through back then, I mean, the oppression those women faced, that was some serious shit. But to wear white, I mean, I was confused at first. I thought the after party was going to be at Governor Northam's house. Yes. However, Trump's troll has to be applauded. I mean, literally. Yes, at the State of the Union address, Donald Trump managed to get his detractors to applaud him. It's
no one has
hilarious.
benefited more from our thriving economy than women, who have filled 58% of the newly created
You just have to laugh
jobs
sometimes.
last year.
This is fucking hilarious. I mean, look how pissed off they were. I mean, look how annoyed they are. Look at her face. Look at her face. You've got to love a good troll. So join us after the break where we talk sex and Brexit. And we also find out how Fickleton's getting on.
Do you know that my mum makes the most amazing soaps? They smell so good, you literally want to eat them. Swipe up to check them out.
Smells like horse piss. Oh, Mike, you left your poop in the soap. Shit.
What I want, you got, but my heart can handle. But like a flame burn candle, can't be explained. Yet, what I got will stop the dream.
Welcome back to CNT News on Valentine's Day. The time of the year when love is in the air. Oh, forgot about this. What did you think it was going to be? I mean, come on. Yes, as we were saying, the time of the year when love is in the air. Or at least it should be. However, it seems this year that everyone is at each other's throats. Take these two for example. They used to be the best of buds. Whereas now...
Alex, if you're out there, I still like you as a person. If I saw you, I'd still give you a hug. But not everything's a fucking conspiracy.
It's this whole thing, like, I still want to hug you. No, Joe, I want you to be my enemy. Don't give me any more pleasantries. I want war.
Yes, a story to keep an eye on in the next few weeks. I'm sure this is going to develop into something mental. And speaking of mental, our next story takes a look at Brexit. Yes, this week we should be updating you on Theresa May's progress. Tonight should have seen the meaningful vote cast with regards to her Brexit deal. A Brexit deal that hasn't changed since the last Brexit deal she had. Anyway, unfortunately, there is no progress to report on. However, this week, frustration is now beginning to show on both sides of the English Channel, as this week it was the EU that have come across as the bitter partner in a divorce. President of the European Council, Donald Tusk, this week decided to tell all of those in favour of Brexit to go to hell. Yes, he really did.
I've been wondering what that special place in hell looks like for those who promoted Brexit without even a sketch of a plan how to carry it safe.
Now here at CNT, we try to be unbiased. Yes, we often share opinion, but we always try to be balanced. So when Donald Tusk suggests that some people should go to hell, we weren't necessarily sure if he meant us. But we thought we would go anyway. So let's pass to Sharon Break News.
Thanks, Cammy. Yes, as you can see, we are here in Westminster, so deep underground at a place called Hell's Gate. Now, as you know, no story is difficult for me to cover, as I travel to the ends of the earth and back again just to get the real story for our CNT viewers. Now, this week, after talks with Irish leader Leo Varadkar in Brussels, European President Donald Tusk spoke of, and I quote, a special place in hell for those who promoted Brexit without even a sketch of a plan to carry it out safely, unquote. Now, Brexit backing MPs reacted with anger to the comments, accusing Tusk of being arrogant and using hurtful language. Cammy, what is evident is that Tusk's blunt language hints at a hostility that London will face when it fails to reach a compromise with its European. Shut up, Boris! I'm doing a report. What are you talking about? Your genitals, crusty. Oh my God! I know they're. Mike, you're gonna cut that bit out. I'll get to you. We have exclusive interviews with Brexit MPs as they're all down here. Let's go and find out more. Mike, do you see that? Not only the Brexit MPs here, but there's more people. That looks like the whole European Union is there. Hey, Christine! Christine! You don't turn around. Hey, Wolfgang! Wheelchair. Wolfgang! Mario! Oh, shit. Oh, bloody hell. Oh, it's melted now. Shit. Nothing to report. Shazza Break News for CNT. But stop your yapping, shit!
Sharon Break News reporting there from the gates of hell, before heading off for tea with Maggie Thatcher and George Bush. Now, before our final report of the evening, how about we catch up with everyone's favourite babysitter? Yes, let's see what Barnaby's up to.
Just the most frightening of experiences here, Cammy. We've got children, women and children and families, and and they're all moving really fast to get inside this center. I'm guessing to protect themselves from a storm coming or something like that. It's hard to say.
Yes, there is a man with a beard, sunglasses, and a hat walking around filming children. Although it is Disney on Ice, so he probably doesn't stick out that much. Anyway, the lesson here is don't fuck with my graphics. Now, from graphics to graphic, as being Valentine's, we thought we would end on a romantic note of sorts. Yes, at this time of the year, there is no better way of expressing your love to your significant other than by bumping uglies. People can often feel uncomfortable talking about sex, with many feeling it is a private matter. However, there are others who are not only happy to talk about sex in public, but they're also happy to perform in public. And when it comes to this kind of thing, one of the top hotspots for randy tourists to enjoy themselves is, of course, the beach. However, is this al fresco action a danger to the environment? Let's ask Wendy Applebottom.
Thank you, Cammie. I do apologize for how I look, but let's just say last night, it was a rough one. Swingers have been flocking to Ibiza's most famous nudist beach to cruise for casual sex. It has been a non-stop sex frenzy. The problem is all of this sex is destroying the protected sand dunes, which in turn ruins the environment, especially with all of the garbage that they leave behind. And where does this all lead to? Well, climate change, of course. This activity has caused more damage than all of the storms over the past 20 years. And not to mention the abrasions to the genitals from the sand that lead to increased infection and a breakdown of condoms. Do we really need these people procreating? I think not. Sources tell me that the Spanish government is looking to sue Rupert Holmes because his 1979 hit Escape, aka the Pina Colada song, glorifies making love at midnight in the dunes of the Cape.
Oh, if you like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain, if you're not into yoga, if you have half a brain, if you like making love at midnight in the dunes on the Cape.
This two-hit wonder is not being sued for creating one of the cheesiest yet catchy songs ever written, but for inspiring sex-crazed swingers to seek out excitement at the beach. I reached out to the 71-year-old Mr. Holmes, but he declined to comment. Meteorologist Wendy Applebottom, back to you, Cammie.
Wendy Applebottom reporting there. Sunglasses. There ain't no way to hide those lying eyes. And that is about all we have time for this week. A huge thank you to you, the viewer at home. A huge thank you to my rumbusticating reporters across the planet. We live in a world where so many are looking for love. Love which can often go unrequited. Now, I may be a bachelor at the moment, but trust me, I didn't give this name to myself. So believe me when I say, honesty is the key to a successful relationship. If you can fake that, then you're onto a winner. So join us next week where we continue the countdown to April 18th. Yes. Don't have nightmares, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Hopefully.
I don't know where I left off. I think I'm having a hard time here.
Boris! Hey, Nige! Shaz a break news CNT can ask you a question. Jacob! It's me! Oh, far.
Yeah, Cammy, it's amazing. After 80 minutes of talking, he was mostly coherent, so that gets approval.
This is a great Valentine's gift. Nice new table, and I need to dismantle the old one. I mean, look at this. I know they say size doesn't matter, but I mean, fucking hell. On the bright side though, at least I'm screwing on Valentine's Day. Hey.